Okay, so welcome back. It's Monday at the moment. We're going to go through today's trade recap, and we are also just going to confirm that I took one trade last week, and that was one loss and done, and I called that one out. So yeah, today's trade was on the Nasdaq. This is the setup that I was marking out. I was just looking at this on Friday pretty much, but I didn't take it because, like I said, I wasn't going to trade on a Friday. And then today's trade, it wasn't actually this full setup. I ended up trimming it, and then it was very much quick scalp before the AM session. So in a sense, I did break my rules today, but yeah, I mean, it was just a very small scalp. I went in with this intention, and I managed my risk. And it wasn't in line with my model. So, there is that. And as you can see, if I hadn't managed it the way I had, would have got done out. Would have been absolutely done out. And yeah, so we're going to go over my thoughts into what I was looking at. Just keeping an eye on this at the moment, because this is kind of in line with my model. We've got 30-minute inverse fair value gap. Break a structure here. Whether this continues down or we get like a nice push up and then a fair value gap to trade into, then you never know. We could see a setup forming here for the PM session to come take previous daily high. But I'll have another look into that after we go through today's move. So what was I looking at? Well, first off, we scored £50 and 88p profit today, and 113 pips. So it wasn't a bad trade. There was a little moment in there. I was a tiny bit uncomfortable because I was like, this isn't my model, and I shouldn't have really taken it. But I felt, at the initial point, there was reason for price to move upwards. We went long, and there was also reason for price to come down. So, yeah. Let's put one of these in quickly, and then this does look like it could be reversing though. Right, so to start, what were we looking at? We had Asia session coming into, or Sunday's Asia session coming into the Monday, and then we have got this up here. I was looking at this high. London session trades above the Asia high, doesn't take the Asia low, and we form these relative equal lows here. Yep, just mark them out. So that is reason for price to come lower. We just do RE lows. Okay, that's one draw, two draw, three draw, and so on. In terms of my move up, I'm still looking at this higher time frame point of interest. So my initial target, well, what I was mapping out on the Friday was a nice entry off break a block here. I think it was a 1 hour. Let's just zoom that in. 1 hour, or was it 4? Oh geez, where am I? Very lost. Yes, it was whatever was in this order block here. As you can see, Friday, that move, it would have been stopped out if I was in this and the spreads was there, but that move is pretty much just above. That's like perfection there. That stop, but that you know what I mean. Anyway, getting distracted here. Relative equal lows. Why was I bullish? I was looking at this high, or this zone to be taken, and the previous daily high. If we look at the overall market structure, it's been fairly bullish See up, up, traded off this fair value gap here, push up, traded up here, traded up, sort of an accumulation or consolidation towards the start of the week, which is completely understandable. Yeah, my main target was previous daily high in line with this as the draw, and then I extended that out to 4-hour point of interest, which I've no doubt we'll get to that at some point, no doubt. Drag that across a little bit more. In terms of an entry, I think it was a 15-minute. I was looking at the reaction of this 15-minute fair value gap here and this break. And it was quite a nice reaction. And then the entry that I took was on, I think it was on the 1 minute. Yeah, so I got in around here. It was this retracement here. So let's drag this like that. This fair value gap on the 1 minute. Got in there. Price comes down a bit. The initial stop was £157. So we do 6 units for 361. You can see up here. That was my initial idea. And that would have been a 2.29 risk to reward. So it was fairly valid. I noted this inverse fair value gap here, and you notice the midpoint of this inverse fair value gap. We were running about £60 profit here, £63 profit, and at this point 9:03. So we got in at what, 8:54, trimmed the stop at 9:03. Once we got this push up, just take risk off the table. So that brought my stop down to about £24. And then on the 3 minute, that looked like this. So it was literally just below this wick. So this was a complete scalp. And then if we were to put the TP there, that would have been 3.8. And then 2.3 there. And then I closed it at, where was it? It was like the bottom of the inverse. Was it? Pretty much. So it's a 1.6 to 1. Yeah, it's not bad. Like the stakes are a lot lower on this, so yeah, that was just the move really. And I just didn't like the reaction of this, and I was conscious that, this isn't my model. 1, 2, we haven't got to 9:30 open, and as you can see at 9:30 open, price dropped down here on the 1 minute, bounced off this fair value gap, pushed up, manipulated, swept this high here, but it didn't take this high here. Took the bodies of the candles here, but not the wick. And I think so far in December, from what I've seen and what I've heard other people talking about, price hasn't really been perfectly delivering on, PD arrays. And I've sort of just been missing them and then going the other way, running the direction it would be. So yeah, you can see here we trade up, and then it just sort of sells off all AM session. I'm just going to double check this at the moment, because okay, so that's still consolidating, doing its thing. And yeah, so it's just a very small trade. Just it was like 11.5 minutes this trade, and I was happy with the £50. I was like, right, you know what, take it, cool, done. Don't need to do much more there. Wasn't any news, I don't think. So yeah, there's no red folder. We do have FOMC stuff coming out on Wednesday, and also Thursday we've got unemployment claims. Where have we got? Is it Friday? No, where is it? It is economic projection. So this will be whether they announce like a rate hike or a rate cut. So not really keen to be in the markets for that day. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. My long-term perspective is we are going to come up here. It just makes sense. Where we stop here, and if we get a nice setup to then line us up to take this, I'm taking it. Do you know what I mean? But obviously it has to be the right place at the right time. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. Keep an eye on that. And yeah, this video seems a bit all over the place at the moment, really. I'm sort of jumping and dashing in between a lot of things. So yeah, prices then come to take the relative equal lows here, Asia lows here. And I think it was Sunday's PM session there. And then we sort of sat in the middle. So I wouldn't be surprised if this does actually come down and drop again. It'll trade up a little bit and then, you know what I mean, take this. It might not need to, but I think it's sort of same here. So yeah, we just have to see what happens. I'm a bit unsure at this point. And that's about it, really. Like I said, it was 113 pips today, so no complaints. Happy with what we got and happy with the fact that I didn't get greedy and I just got out. And I think today was more like a intuitive trade. It was just like, I think this is going to go here because of this. And I'm also getting out here because of this, i.e. the inverse fair value gap. And luckily enough, you know, it was the right decision. I'm not saying that's going to work every time. Of course not. So it's one of those. It's like it's not a bad trade. It's not a good trade. It's just, it happened. I did it. I got out. And I think that there is positives and negatives to take from that. You know, I knew that it wasn't in line with my model, so my psychology was off a little bit. In terms of, you know, managing my risk, trimming the stop, and just getting out. So it was more of an emotional trade, but, you know, not going to judge myself for that, just noting it and taking it on board. Yeah, as you can tell by like the way I'm like describing it, I'm sort of like trying to piece it all together. Like in the moment, it was just sort of like, yeah, we're going to do that and that and that, that. See what happens, get out. Now it's like, okay, I'm talking about it, trying to piece it together, what was going on. And you can see the holes in the idea, hence this. So yeah, I think that's going to be me for now. Just see. So I want to see a nice reaction off this if I'm to get in here. So what is this? 6849, previous daily high, 6895. So that's like what, 40 handles on the S&P, and today's high is going to be the London session. So if we go into tomorrow, either we sweep this. I'm going to make a little note here actually for the S&P. Let's mark that out. Either we sweep this and then see the setup with the previous daily low for tomorrow being here, and then the previous daily high for tomorrow being here. So that's my forecast. Well, not my forecast, but you know, that's what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking about going forward. And yeah, I think that's gonna about do it for me today. And yeah, it's one of those. And we'll catch you tomorrow.